Well, check this, Rove.
What? We slept with the snake?
Shut the music up. The kind of women I like, it certainly.
Is this a family show? Sit down. It's nasty.
I'm off the shelf.
I had a great major orgasm.
The bloody dog ate all the cheese.
Welcome to Rove Live. All well? Yes, because you can answer that question. Excellent. Hang on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because the government has announced a new test for bowel cancer. Basically, what they want people to do is smear their faeces onto a card and then mail it to their doctor to be tested. I know now, we're going to... look, we're just going to have to be a little mature with this if we want to get through it all. But we're going to be smearing our faecal matter on a card and sending it to the doctor. And you thought there was enough crap in our letterboxes with junk mail. Now we're adding it ourselves. A little bit of a warning to anyone who's thinking this might be a good idea. Can I just say, make sure you address your letter correctly. Because trust me, that is one package in 2 to 3 weeks' time. You don't want coming back marked return to sender. Hey! But the people who are obviously most up in arms about this are all the good men and women from Australia Post. And strangely enough, it's not because there's going to be faecal matter in the mail. What they're upset about is the fact they weren't consulted about this idea. Like, if they were, they would have gone, sounds fantastic! But I don't think they should complain too much, because I reckon it's a perfect solution for warding off nasty dogs. The post would be coming past with a smelly bag on his shoulder, and the dog would come out going... And is this the future of medicine? Putting poo in the post? I mean, what are we going to be doing now? You vomit into a bag and send it off to the doctor if you're worried about food poisoning? And what's he going to do with it? You know, collect them like postcards and put them up on the mantelpiece, or collect a whole set and swap them with other doctors? What are they going to do? But I'll tell you what who I feel most sorry for in this whole situation, from the original concept to the results coming back at the end, is the poor person at the doctor's office who has to open all these cards. You can just imagine them sitting there just going, oh, please, God, let this one be anthrax. Let it be anthrax! I beg you! So just be warned. This is what they're coming up with. Oh, baby, you have dialed up a wonderful episode of Rove Live for yourselves tonight. Joining us live in this very studio, Matt Damon. Also going to be joined by Katie Underwood. Band Taxi Rider here. Oh, they're good. And comedian James Smith. Peter Moon and Carla Bonner from Neighbours with a bit of Margarita. But first and foremost, let's welcome back to Rove Live one of our favourites. She's part of the Fox FM morning crew in Melbourne and also can be seen on Beauty and the Beast. Welcome back to Rove Live, Tracy Bartram. Hello.
Hello.
Can I show your shoes to the nation?
Oh, aren't they just fabulous? These are John Fluvog shoes. I love them.
Look at them.
Aren't they divine?
They're aerodynamic.
They are fabulous. I'm a bit fashioned up. I'm a bit early for Fashion Week, Melbourne Fashion Week, because I've been dressed by Gertrude 203. It's a new shop. And John Fluvog...
Are you just saying that to get free stuff?
No. No one ever gives me free stuff.
Don't you get free stuff, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, but it's, you know... No one's ever given me a BMW. I should use my powers for evil, shouldn't I?
You should.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? What have you...
Well, you know, when I came back from Paris...
Yes.
I just went thwump. I just felt like...
You went thwump?
I went thwump because I had such a great holiday, and then it was just mad. You know, I was on here 2 days after I got home, and I was still completely jet-lagged.
You did okay, considering you were jet-lagged and, you know, it was probably way past your bedtime.
But I hadn't slept for 3 days. I was like... I had to go in...
You covered it so well.
I know. Yes, you'd never
Now,
know.
I've seen you lately on Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Is that a fun show to do?
I love it.
'Cause
It's
I
so
reckon-
much
well, I
better
reckon
since
they-
Doug started. You know,
What's
Stan
he
Zamanic's
like?
a knob.
Has he been...
He's a complete and utter knob.
Did you work with Stan? Did you?
Yes.
What was wrong with him?
Nothing. But, you know, you don't tell them they're a knob when you're working with them. You,
I see.
You wait till they've got the bullet, then you go, hey, you're a knob.
No, I've heard that Doug has stormed off set a couple of times. Has he done that while you've been there?
No, he hasn't. I wish he had, because that would give me great material. I love Doug. He's got dreadful hair, though. I did ask him to cut it. You know, it sort of goes a bit foopy here. But he's very charming, and he's very clever, and he's very witty. You know?
Is it easy for you to get a word in with the whole panel of people there? Seriously, I know, because, I mean, you can talk underwater, but I would suggest that with that amount of people, it might even be hard to get a word in even for you.
Well, I sometimes have to be a little bit restrained because, you know, you've got to take your turn and you've got the little Memo and it'll say, you know, Tracy, and then it'll say Joanna, and then it'll say someone else, and you're like, oh, damn it, she said what I wanted to say, but then no one ever says what I say, ever. So it gets a bit aerated.
And are half those letters made up, honestly?
They've never told me, but I find it fascinating. Whenever I'm on, they have something that I'm really passionate about, like breastfeeding, because I breastfed my son for 3.5 years. And, and I had a home water birth with no drugs. So I'm very weird.
A home water birth? Like in your own bath? In a pool? In a paddle pool? How do they do it?
It was a pool that we hired from the midwife, because we were living in Perth at the time. And I'd been living in England and during the Edinburgh Festival when I was 6 months pregnant. And I got very passionate about having a home water birth. And I did, and my son was born in Perth. And it was 42 degrees the day it was born.
Well, fantastic then to be born in the water.
Well,
It'd be great for you.
Except that I was 17.5 stone, which is 105 kilos.
Yeah.
And I was wandering naked around the backyard, hanging off the clothesline, going, oh! And frightening the neighbours.
Are you allowed to get into the pool before you're going into, like, ready to let the baby out?
I was in the whole time. In fact, it was so hot that the water stayed hot the whole time. And then I got pruny, as you do. And I was so off my dial, because when you're having a baby, all your endorphins kick in. Because, you know, it's secret women's business.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, oh, if I just lie on my back, I won't have to do this anymore. It was just, you know, amazing. But it's an amazing experience having a baby.
I didn't know about that. There you go, about you.
I'm a very weird chick.
You're
We've got that on tape now.
Face it, Barton.
I am very weird.
Now, you're back with Rawhide.
I am.
It's been a year since you last did a stand-up show.
Yeah. Well, I'd actually planned to do a new show this year, and then it just turned out I wasn't where I was supposed to be at the start of the year with it. So we said, oh, OK, we'll do that next year. And Rawhide sold out last year, and we thought, oh, we'll do it again.
So what's changed in the year for you?
It was a death in the family.
Oh, dear. How awkward.
Lost my pussy.
Matron.
It's not funny.
Yes, it is. You said pussy.
I lost Toto, the cat.
Toto?
Yes. We got him from the Cat Protection Society because I'm an animal rights activist as well as a child protection advocate.
And what happened to Toto?
Well, he started killing all the native birds because we're also greenies, and we ripped out everything in the garden unless it was we put in a whole native garden, completely indigenous, and all the birds would come in and we'd go, oh, isn't it lovely? It was like la 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 la, and Toto would go and he'd just be eating them, and you can't do that. So we paid $1,200 to have a cat run put in down the side of the house, and it had, you know, split level with exposed beams.
So what's a cat run?
Well, it's just so he can't actually get out into the garden. But it was bigger than my bedroom. It's a side, you know, it was the whole length of the house. And he didn't like it. And I think he went sort of quietly mad. And he just sat there going, wow, all the time. And I'd get up in the middle of the night for a week because I've had a baby. And he would just sit outside the bathroom window going, wow! And then
So you had him put down?
No,
okay.
no, I couldn't.
Try to put the pieces together
but
here.
I thought about it, and then, well, what happened was it was a very warm night a couple of months ago, and we left all the doors and windows open. I felt guilty because he was in his cell, you know, and so I said, "Do you want to come out for a bit?" And he's like, "Woo!" And he was running in and out, and in and out. He was just beside himself. And then we called him in for dinner, and you always feel like a bit of a knob, don't you, when you're calling for your cat? So, Toto! Toto! Otto! And growing up in Dandenong, we had a cat called Horatio, and that was just terrible because I had to go, Horatio, Horatio, because you get beaten up if you had a cat called Horatio. Anyway, David came, my husband, he came inside and he said, it's really sad because I've just found him out the front. But the good thing was he wasn't cold, he'd just been hit, and he wasn't messy or anything, which was better because, I mean, I didn't believe he was dead, and I sort of shook him a bit and said, wake up! But he didn't. But it was actually a blessing because 2 years earlier when Socrates went to God, he'd been dead quite a while, and you could just carry me like a pizza across the road.
Convenient.
Yeah.
That's great.
Isn't that awful? It's terribly sad. But
That's all right, it's a cat, it's fine.
It's not.
Totally not a fan of cats.
No, but you don't, you don't want to be mean to them.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. It's don't.
Not a fan of cats, it's okay. I'll get you another one.
No, I don't want another one.
Okay.
No, I don't want another one. I'm not having any more cats that are going to kill birds. I've got Moby the dog.
Get a ferret.
I love ferrets.
Ferrets are great. You got the run, you'll be set.
Ferrets are great, and I love
set like a
but
jelly.
they smell.
Yeah, but that's all right, and they nip.
And they nip you. They
know how to. Ferrets are they're conniving little things.
They are.
They know how to get the tendon right at the back of your ankle.
And what do you do with a ferret? You can't actually go bad ferret. You've got to go.
Yeah, is it around us? Like one of those toy ones you see connected to the balls.
I love those at the market. They're great. I stand there for hours going, oh.
Okay, now Rawhide, your show is happening in Melbourne, and you've sold out. Saturday
night.
And you've still got the 31st and the 31st of August, 1st of September, Dad's
Father's Day.
So
at
head
5
down.
o'clock, because all the dads will be absolutely off their dials.
And it's just at the St Kilda National Theatre if you want to catch Tracy Bartram live at Rawhide. Now, Trace, I'm sure you have seen the show The Osbournes.
Oh, I love The Osbournes.
Love The Osbournes.
Don't you love Ozzy? Oh, yeah. You're all effing mad.
Now, I should actually mention, some people may have seen Kelly Osbourne promoed for this show. She's fallen terribly ill, so was unable to join us.
And her mum's sick.
Yes, so we'll endeavour to have her on very soon. But what we've got, because I've seen The Osbournes, I'm a big fan.
It's great.
And it's set new standards for swearing on Australian television.
I feel normal at home.
So I'm going to lay down the gauntlet, set a bit of a challenge to Ozzy Osbourne right now. We're going to see if we can break his record. We've got our own rock and roller here to swear for us all night tonight.
Who?
John English.
No!
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, swearing for you all night tonight. John English.
Buttocks.
I tell you what, the phones are going to be ringing off the hook. You better take a break before we're dragged off air.
I'm just shattered after that. I've been holding a burp in for the last 2 minutes.
Do one now.
I don't know how. No, but it came up and went down.
Damn, never mind.
I didn't want to go, you know, I was so worried.
We will be back with Katie Underwood, Matt Damon, and What Though when we return on Rove Live. To Rove Live, we've got Matt Damon, Katie Underwood, Taxi Ride, but now it's What the... Okay, first What The's from Fran Boulders from Research in Victoria. Some instructions on tablets prescribed for Fran's son. Strange ones here. It says here, swallow whole 1 tablet twice a day, 12 hours apart. Oh, we're moving through. Excellent. Let's go back to the first one. I'll read it. You just follow along. We've got here, swallow 1 whole tablet twice a day, 12 hours apart, until all gone or dead. There it is! Yes. If breathing persists, see your doctor. Erin Logan from Shepparton in Victoria. Erin's school student bulletin, which we just saw up there a second ago. If you have been recording this and paused it, you've already seen the joke, so act surprised. A message to Year 12 students saying, a reminder that bogs on the floor or in the classrooms are a hazard. That's when kids take show and tell a little too far. Edward Hayes from Randwick in Victoria was at Warwick Castle in England. It's a whole other country. You can't get there by bus. And took this photo outside of one of the attractions. Have a look at this sign here. Torture chamber unsuitable for wheelchair users. Somehow I think that's one they probably won't take to the equal opportunities people. We want to be tortured too! Finally, from Rob Dylan. Oh, Bob Dylan, could it be him? Could it be him? Probably not. From Para Hills in South Australia. The postcard you send, this is from Okayama in Japan. You know when you're missing someone and you send them a postcard and you can't quite put your finger on what it is you're missing? I think this postcard will speak for itself. Lovely flowers here, but have a look at the little message at the bottom. For you, I always think of your thing. Yes. Yeah, always think of your thing when you see wilted flowers. Lovely. If you ever want this, send it to us, care of this address. It's What the PO Box 302, Richmond, Victoria, 3121. My next guest walked from Australia's first pop stars group, Bardot, but a year later she is a TV host and has had a top 10 hit single. She joins us now. Welcome, Katie Underwood. Very well. What have you been up to?
Oh, what haven't I been up to? No, a bit of TV, a bit of music. At the moment, doing a few gigs with Disco Montego. I've got a second single out, Magic.
Magic, yes.
Yeah, and just doing a lot of club gigs and dates around Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, Perth.
And Beautiful, the first single you did with Disco Montego went very well for you?
It did. We got so much public support. We got a top 10 out of it and went gold with the single, which was really cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, look, it's just a fun song. I think one of the real surreal moments for me is when we get out there in the clubs and people, you know, the track starts and everyone starts singing the words to the songs. You've got, you know, potentially 2,000 people singing along. It's quite exciting.
Now, when you say that, is that when you're out performing in clubs or
Yes.
when you're just out yourself dancing at clubs?
Well, a bit of both. No, generally just performing. But even when I do get out, on the rare occasions I actually do get to go out, I'll sort of try and hide in the corner and watch people dancing along, and I enjoy when they do the movements to the words and they sort of sing along and they've got the movements worked out with the words, which is quite cool. So
now, is it a good thing for you to be doing something now solo, having come from a group background?
Well, I guess so. I'm still working. It's a good thing.
There's always a good thing in the industry.
No, look, it's nice. It's nice for me to sort of come away. I guess it's what, almost a year and a half now since leaving, and having had a really successful song, and the fact that people are really into it. I mean, obviously Channel 7 have been good to me with Undercover Angels. Working with Thorpe's been great. So look, it's all good. I'm in a good place, happy.
And when you left Bardot, you went to do Hair, the musical.
Yeah. Bow-bow.
And then what happened? What happened with that?
Bow-bow. Well, it fell over, didn't it? It just went all wrong. Yeah, it was a bit wrong.
It's an industry term.
It was so wrong.
How do you feel when that happens? Because how do they tell you? Do you read about it? Does
Really
someone
awful.
call you?
No, they rang me on Tuesday afternoon at approximately 3:33 in the afternoon, and not that I remember, and said, look, we thought we should tell you before it gets out. I'm like, thanks very much. We're not doing the show. And I sort of went, what? What? Sorry, what? And so they've told me. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, just trying to be cool, you know, professional.
Yeah.
Hung up. And I was just in denial. I've just gone, this is not right. So I rung them back. I said, is this final? Like, are you just thinking of cancelling it, or it's actually gone? They said, no, it's gone. I'm like, right, just checking. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Hello, show business.
So it was all very tragic, but I think the good part for me is the media and the Australian public. Everyone seemed to sort of go, oh, you know, there was this whole great sigh of sympathy for me, which I felt, which was nice. So there was a few months there where I was sort of still doing media and
Well,
everyone...
it's never a good thing when you hear any show gets cancelled, whether you know anyone who's a part of it or not. It's just something you're going, it's a bum. You'd like everything to work and be successful for everybody.
Well, and it wasn't just me, you know, it's the other thing to remember, and that became evident to me later, it's not just the principal artists that are involved. There's crew people, there's hair people, there's makeup people, there's dancers, cousins, friends, and people who were all involved in this big project that all of a sudden are out of work. So I think that was a humbling thing for me. That's like, okay, well, I can get another opportunity, but there are a lot of people that have put work on hold for this. So it was just one of those things. But again, like everything else I've done so far, it's a big learning curve.
And now, as you mentioned, you've got the Undercover Angels. What's Thorpe like to work with?
He's lovely. He's a darling. He's a darling. And no, I have never looked at his feet. But he is a darling. Just really very fresh. I mean, he's a young man, very enthusiastic, and really strikes me as the kind of person who could do anything if he put his mind to it. And I think he's already done that already, but I'm sure will go on to do that throughout his career.
Have any of your missions gone wrong and we just haven't seen it? Like you've gone to reunite someone and they don't want to be reunited or anything like that?
Mine have all been okay. I think generally they check that kind of thing out beforehand.
Before they send you out in the fancy, expensive cars.
Yeah, there's a few stories where you rock up and there's a lot to be said for shock factor. And people can react in many different ways when they're in shock. And, of course, the way you don't want them to react when they're in shock is to just go and not do anything for the first 5 minutes. So I think one of my very first stories that I shot was with a young boy who was 6 years old, and bless his socks. I mean, what's a 6-year-old boy going to do? You know, and we've given him this new motorbike, and I'm like, and here's your new bike. And he's just gone... I'm like, shit, right, okay, get on the bike, get excited. So, but his mum was crying, so, you know, it was all beautiful emotion and it was all happening. But that was a little bit scary. But I haven't had any major scare stories since then.
Oh, so you're going all right then. Yeah. We don't have to send out any other angels to come and help you.
No.
Crisis
There's no backup angel. You know, if you fail your angelic duties, that's it. It's all over.
Well, congratulations with it all. You're going great in TV and in music as well. I should point out that your new single, Magic is out now, and the album is out September 9th.
Correct.
With you on it. Please thank Katie Underwood, everyone. Still to come, Matt Damon, Taxi Ride, Marsha Reader and comedian James Smith. Don't go anywhere. We have Matt Damon, we've got Taxi Ride still to come. Should also mention on Saturday morning, Rove, this weekend, 10 a.m. on the Austereo Network, we'll be joined by Adam Sandler. So do join in for that. But now it is time for the segment that the whole world stops to answer the question, who's in the swivel chair? To find out who is in the swivel chair, let us ask the voice of the swivel chair himself, Mr. Bruce Mansfield. Bruce!
Thanks, Rove. Tonight in the swivel chair, it's Bananas in Pyjamas. Beginning their careers as bit players on Play School, the Bananas in Pyjamas are currently celebrating 10 years as stars of their own ABC series. B1 and B2 were originally joined by B3 until someone left him in the fridge overnight. Currently, the boys are working on spin-off projects, including grapefruits in spacesuits, squashes and galoshes, and rutabagas and Studebakers. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Rove? But Bananas in Pyjamas!
Just when you think the names couldn't get any bigger in the swivel chair, not one but both, Bananas in Pyjamas. And the Bananas are falling over off stage, but they're also celebrating their 10th birthday with a CD and video, which are out now. Well, thank you, Bananas. And as always, thank you, Bruce. Let's meet our comedic guest for this evening. He is an ex-lawyer, but he's branched out into the comedy world and is leaping forward in leaping forwardness. It's an industry term, hey, learn it. He's about to tour the nation, and especially in the states of New South Wales and the ACT, but he joins us now. Welcome for the first time to Rove Live, James Smith.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I drove here today from Sydney, and that's a long drive. And as I came into Melbourne, I saw this sign and it said, "Seatbelts save lives." And as I hit this cyclist, I thought, not always. I tried to save his life too. I said, "Here you go, mate. Here's my seatbelt." "Come on." Didn't do anything, he just wobbled. Because it says on the sign, it says, "The road is there to share." So I gave him the bit under my car. I wasn't using it. I thought, there you go, knock yourself out. But I have to drive everywhere now because I'm scared to fly. I'm scared of these terrorists. I don't understand their incentives, you know. I mean, I was reading in the paper where if they take these suicide missions, they get 77 virgins when they get to heaven. Can you think of anything worse than finally getting to heaven and having to deal with 77 virgins? I just don't know if I'm ready. How do I know you love me? What about the 76 others? Oh, it'd make you kill yourself. It's too late, you already did. I think if they want to create real incentive, you know what they should do? They should say, listen, if you take this mission, we'll give you 77 of the easiest routes you've ever had in your life. Then maybe you'd consider the mission. But I am not going to blow myself up just to hang out with some frigid chick. You know? And it doesn't say anything about what they look like. I mean, I know virgins, and it's not by choice. Oh, get more action in the Big Brother house. That's my favourite show. I love Big Brother. I love Survivor, Big Brother. Any of these voting shows, I just love the way you can vote idiots off. Wouldn't it be good if you could do that in life? Like at work? Every Friday you could just have an eviction. Or even better, in your family. Every Christmas you just have a tribal council and vote someone off. I would vote myself off just to get out of my family. I would, and I'll tell you why. My real name is James Smith. That's not a stage name, and I'll tell you how I got it. My parents are not very bright. And they're filling out my birth certificate at the hospital, and the example on the form was James Smith. And my mum said, "Oh, this bit's already been filled in." Could have been worse. I could have been a citizen. Or insert here. Which would have sucked if I ever went to prison. I shouldn't complain, though. I shouldn't whinge, you know. I was lucky. You know what my little brother's name is? Please print in block letters. You guys are the best. Thank you very much. Thanks,
James Smith! I mentioned that you're touring, you're going through, what, through Thredbo and Canberra?
All through the snow, and then Goulburn this Saturday with Steady Eddie, and then the Sydney Comedy Store later in the month at Fox Studios.
And if you'd like to catch James in the flesh, and you can do this, but you have to make that noise. All the details for your touring, I think, is on your website, which is jamessmith.com.au.
That's the one, yes.
Excellent, excellent. Now, James, I noticed you like to keep your act clean, which is good. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't say that about someone who's been joining us tonight. I don't know if you caught John English earlier.
Look, you know, keep it clean, I say.
It's just a shame to see someone with such a, you know, such a legacy.
And a nice guy, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here he is, once again, as promised, John English, swearing.
Wee-wees.
We'll be back with Matt Damon, Taxi Ride, and Masharita.
Saturday, Richmond will be fighting tooth and claw to finish the year on a high when they take on the Swans in both sides' final game of the year. Richmond take on Sydney at Stadium Australia, 7 o'clock Saturday, live.
Thank you. Welcome back to Rove Live. I have a lot to organise at my desk. It all needs to be put in its right place. Excellent. Excellent. Now, if you've been reading the paper or watching the news, you might be aware that Australia, the Australian government and the US government have organised a new treaty, and in doing so, our politicians now have to reveal all of their secrets. Everything in their little closets have to be told to ASIO. Now, my little Rove spies have been out scurrying. It's what they do for no reason at all. And then I get them to also collect information for me. And they have actually come across the secrets that our very own Prime Minister has had to reveal to ASIO. So here now for you, it's a bombshell. Secrets John Howard had to reveal. That's what it's called? Yes. Excellent. Yes. Yes, make a noise. It's that exciting. Here they are. Some of these, you'd almost think we made them up. They're frightening, they're alarming, but all true, all factual. Some of the secrets John Howard had to reveal. Here's one of them during question time. He and Kim Beazley once recreated the Sharon Stone leg crossing scene from Basic Instinct. I know, shocking, but true. Here's another one, another secret John Howard had to reveal. He once had his eyebrows styled into a mullet. Which isn't easy, I might add. Another John Howard secret, it's a shocker. He voted Nelson Mandela Australian of the Year before the concept was properly explained to him. Here we go. Here's another secret John Howard has had to reveal. He's not sure if Humphrey B. Bear is real, but thinks it's probably too late to ask someone. I know how he feels. Another shocker, another bombshell, if you will. John Howard once wore a leather jacket to Parliament and made the backbenchers call him Fonzie. There was a lot of sit-on-its going around that day, let me tell you. Another secret revealed from John Howard. When he's home on his own, he dances in his jocks like Tom Cruise in Risky Business. Let's put those old records on the shelf. Another John Howard secret revealed. Once he asked Alexander Downer if foreign affairs was about kissing women from other countries. Kids got to learn sometime. And probably the most startling of all John Howard's secrets revealed. This one time at band camp. I tell you what, it hurts, but I tell you what will soothe your aches and pains. A little bit of Maya Sharita. One of our guests from Neighbours, Carla Bonner. You all right? Is that your battery pack, or are you just really nervous?
Yeah, right.
How are you going?
Yeah, fine.
How was the Celebrity Big Brother house?
Yeah, it was a bit of fun.
Yes?
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Were you in there when Kappa was in there?
No.
Oh, lucky you.
I bet everyone asks you that question, though.
They do. I wish I was, though. It would have been, you know.
No, you actually
much.
don't. You actually don't want to.
Someone who was Peter Hellier. He was in there. Today FM morning crew in Sydney, soon to be seen in the motion picture The Nugget, Peter Moon. How you doing, Moon?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. It's great to be up this late, I have to say. It's fantastic. I didn't realise people stayed up this late, you know.
What exists after dark?
Well, breakfast radio, I've been doing it for 10 years, you know. It's just amazing. There were people out there when I drove here and everything. It's really exciting. Thank you for inviting me.
We do what we can. It's a learning experience. Well, Pete, you and Corinne, who are you playing for at home?
We are playing for Zelda May from Indooroopilly in Queensland.
Indooroopilly. Pete, Carla?
I'm playing for, we're playing for, not both of us are playing for, it's a team effort. But David Castle, who actually has built a moat around himself, strangely enough.
Really?
Strangely. From Thornley, WA, which I believe means Western Australia.
Correct. 1 point to Pete and Carla.
Yeah.
All right, it's as simple as that. OK, let's get straight into it. Pete and Carla, you're up first. Who's miming? Who's guessing?
Carla. I'll get the show started.
You know how it works? 45 seconds on the clock. Is that right? It's been a while. 45 seconds on the clock. Noel, the cameraman, thumbs up. All right. Remember, you can pass at any time. 1 point for every correct answer.
OK.
Hey, Pete, just have fun with
Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
Off you go.
Hey, baboon. Monkey around. What?
Another type of monkey.
Chimpanzee.
She said
No, it's a gorilla. It's a pass, didn't get it.
Archery.
And this is about the only thing I can do.
The big one. Oh, he's stupid. Oh, that
was a good slingshot.
Slingshot.
That's two.
You should get this one.
Juggling.
There you go.
Bubblegum.
Oh, see, now we're getting there. That's two, okay. Oh.
Blind.
No, blindfold. Can't accept.
I won't know.
He's miming it.
I was gasping for breath. I was going.
3, you got 3. Well, 2 correct answers plus the 1 point for WA. That's 3. Thank good work, first round. Peter, Corinne.
Okay, let's go, Peter.
Okay.
That's your word there.
Okay. Good luck. Okay.
Tell us if you feel the need.
Yeah, I might.
And away we go.
Headbanger.
Oh, good stuff.
Tongue pierce.
Yes, I'll take that. Tongue piercing, yes.
Oh, you're good at this.
Good luck. Your guess is as good as mine.
Balloon, floating, round thing with a thingy in it. Bubble, going
Forget
fast.
helium. Tough one, helium.
Oh, yeah. Fondue. Sticky thing with a thing that goes in and then you eat it. Rice, stick rice.
You were so close with stick rice. Chopsticks. Chopsticks. 2 points. 3-2. Away we go. Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Good luck. Thanks. Pass if you feel the need. Away we go. Start the clock.
Knees. Jeans. Knee. Legs. Knees.
Pass. Knee pads.
Knee pads, okay, yeah, fair enough. Windsailing. Surfing.
Windsurfing.
Windsailing, it's a different kind of sport. Dancing. Maracas.
Yeah! That's easy, come on. I just want to see this one. Go. Oh, blinded. See how good Neighbours has been to you? Look how good you did.
Tennis. Squash.
3 seconds.
Table tennis.
Good start. Nice job. Wasn't teabag.
What others?
It wasn't teabag. Okay. Corinne, Pete, you have... You've got to get 5. You can do that.
What if I told you how attractive you're looking?
1 point. But you have to get 4 now. This is easy.
Yeah, sure.
Go, Rennie, off you go. 45 seconds.
I don't know. Dead. A butterfly. A fly. Dead. A fly. A fly spray.
Yeah, fly spray.
Smoke blowing smoke rings. A cigarette. A cigar. A cigarette holder. A pipe.
A pipe.
Shut up! I got there in the end.
Teddy bear. Passed on teddy bear.
Pie. Cream pie.
Cream pie. Oh, very specific. Nicely done.
Parkinson's disease. I don't know.
That's all I can do.
1 second. Shake. It was shake.
Shake. Oh,
It was
sorry.
shake.
Yeah, I went too far.
Final scores are Pete and Carla on 7, Peter and Corinne on 6. Pete, get around. Who's you in for?
David Castle, you can put some alligators in that moat.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Corinne. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Ray. There we go. That was my charade, and we'll be back with Taxi Ride and next, Matt Damon. Rove Live. Matt Damon coming out in just a second, and then the kids from Taxi Ride to bring us home. If you've been watching the show the whole way through, you've probably been a little shocked, a little stunned by one Mr. John English, who's been, well, just rattling off the potty words. Tell you what, if that's English, I don't want to know what swearing is. That can't be right. But here he is, once again. I present for you John English swearing.
Front bottom.
Excuse me, front bottom?
You wanted controversy, man. Yeah, that's what I said. You know.
English, that's not the type of show we're running here. I think that's about enough. Okay?
You said I could plug my album.
Ouch!
Ouch! Yeah, well, this isn't fair, you know.
Ouch!
You wanted rock and roll. I gave it. Oh, God.
Enough English. Ta-ta. We won't be all together now. So close to the end, and my humour button just goes. Please welcome my next guest. He's been part of some of the biggest films in the last 5 years, including Saving Private Ryan, Ocean's 11, and the Academy Award-winning Good Will Hunting. His new film, Born Identity, opens September 26. Please welcome to Rove Live, Matt Damon.
M&M's here?
Yeah.
All right, nice.
By all means, take one.
This is better than any American talk show.
Got that straight, my friend. How have you found our fair country?
Huh? Great, man.
It's a standard question, I know, but...
No, it's been great. I mean, I don't want to sound like too much of an ass-kisser, but I really love it here. And, you know, I've been saying that. I got to Sydney a few days ago and hung out there and just flew in tonight to Melbourne. So, I mean, I've been having a great time.
Are you feeling a little bit out of whack? Is your body clock in tune?
Yeah, I started in Taiwan, so I kind of recovered there a little bit. But yeah, I'm a little out of whack. It's been a long day.
Now, of course, we all first discovered you, I guess, through Good Will Hunting, which you wrote with your good mate Ben Affleck.
Right.
Now, you were, what, 27, 28 when you came up with that?
No, well, I was 22 and Ben was 20 when we started writing it. And when it came out, we were 27, 25.
So when you come up with an idea like that and you're trying to pitch it to the big Hollywood studios, did you ever think you were ever in with a chance that any of them would want to produce it?
No. No, we actually, we set it up so that, you know, we wrote that Robin Williams character just because we knew that the one way we could kind of get funding would be if we had a role for, you know, somebody who actually was a bankable movie star. So we kind of called it, that movie Reservoir Dogs that came out did that because Harvey Keitel was a name. So we called it our Harvey Keitel role. So we were waiting for somebody to kind of, you know, step in and get us the funding.
And what were you doing, young guys, what were you doing when you got the call to say, hey, you're going to be making $1 million Hollywood blockbuster?
Nothing. No, when we got the call, I mean, we were sitting there waiting by the phone. I mean, we were, you know, sweating it, you know. It was basically, it's such a feast or famine business that it was basically the difference between, you know, making the movie that you've dreamed of making for the last 5 years or you know, eating more. Do you guys have ramen noodles here?
We've got like 2-minute noodles. Is that the sort of thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah.
In a pot, add some hot water, bingo.
It was really the filet mignon or ramen noodles phone call that we were getting. So yeah, we were sitting there having a couple of cocktails at that point. Just
very nice.
Yeah.
And what about when you won the Oscar for it as well?
Same kind of feeling. No, well, that was it. Kind of at that point, it got so kind of heady for us that, you know, to us really, we just like the idea of even making the movie, of it even being. You know, a reality of it just existing like in video cassette form where we could keep it on our mantle and just say, hey, we did this, you know, even if people think it sucks, you know, we made it, you know. That would have been enough for us. So when everything kind of happened after that, it was pretty overwhelming, yeah.
And how did you and Ben actually meet? Because you've known each other since you were like tiny kids.
Yeah, well, I met him, let's see, I was 10, he was 8, and I moved into his neighborhood, and we lived right around the corner from each other. So, and it's kind of weird. We both wanted to be actors from a really early age. I think that's probably why we became friends. It's kind of a strange thing for two kids to be so driven at like such an early age, but that was kind of how we bonded, I think.
Wasn't there a plan to be rappers or something? Where does Matty D come from? Weren't you called Matty D when you were young?
Well, yeah, Matty D. Well, that had nothing to do with like rap. We all kind of made names up for each other. Yeah, everybody called him Biz, and everybody called me Matty D.
Biz and Matty D.
Yeah.
That sounds like kid rappers or something.
Yeah, I don't think we would have won the Oscar if we put those names on the screenplay, written by Biz and Matty D.
And how was it then? Because you guys became the darlings of Hollywood. It was all Ben and Matt and Ben, and then when you went out with Winona Ryder and Gwyneth Paltrow, it was the four of you, and you were Hollywood's favourite couples. How was that time for you? Just suddenly pushed into the spotlight like that?
Really strange. I mean, you know, certainly, you know, and nothing to complain about. You know, it's not like we would have rather have been, you know, broke and out of work. But yeah, it was a lot to deal with, and it's still like we still get, you know, our names are kind of linked together. Like I was jogging in Sydney 2 days ago. And it was like 6 in the morning because I was kind of jet lagged, so I was up and I went running, and some guy passed me, and I'd been running and nobody said anything. I was passing joggers all morning, and one guy just said, "Good morning, Mr. Affleck." So I think, you know, that's like 5 years later, so it's still kind of happening. So I guess it'll probably happen for a while.
Now, your new movie is The Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
Saw it yesterday. What I loved about it is the fight scenes that are in it. It's pretty action-packed.
Yeah.
It looks like you do most of that yourself.
I did, actually. That was one of the things that, you know, I've been offered a lot of these movies and had turned them down. And when I talked to this director, he really, you know, he said he wanted me to do all this stuff, and that he wanted to make kind of a character-driven action movie. And it was, audiences are smart enough to see when it's like a stuntman doing it or when it's you doing it. So he said, you know, get to the gym and start training. Because
do you have to do any training, like martial arts training and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did about 5 months of training in this thing called Kali, which is a Filipino style of martial arts, and I took boxing lessons. The director said he wanted the character to walk like a boxer with kind of the directness and efficiency that a boxer walks with. So I boxed for a while and did all this firearm training too, just to kind of get comfortable handling guns.
How was that? That'd be all right.
Yeah, it was like, it was like summer school for an assassin. You know? Really fun, because I do these other movies. You know, I did a movie like The Talented Mr. Ripley. I was stuck in a room playing piano for like 3 months, you know, which was horrible for me, really frustrating, because I have no musical talent whatsoever. Unlike the band coming out here in a second, I'm pretty lame. So I don't know. For me, I'm always like taking time to, you know, research these things as much as I can, and I never know what I'm really going to get. And with this one, it was a lot of fun.
So now, if someone came up to you in an alleyway and tried to take you on, do you seriously think you could kick their ass?
No.
Not even with your assassin training?
No, well, it's like, you know, it's kind of like jack of all trades, master of none. You know, I have 5 months is really enough to kind of get your ass kicked. You know, it's not really enough to really handle yourself with any proficiency.
You could panic and start playing the piano. You just forget which
right. Just
is there anything you've learnt that you could show me, like any kind of... There's one I've learnt before. I created it. It's called the whoop-a-tang, like that. It's lightning quick. You got to be stand well.
But you need to say whoop-a-tang when you do it.
That's the whole. You startle them with the sound effect.
People just think you're a freak and run away.
That's it. You've got no. But is there anything? Could I learn anything?
Yeah. I mean, they taught me something like how to take things out of people's hands, but I don't know if we have anything that I could take out of your hand right now. I mean, the rest of it is just pretty brutal.
Do you want try and steal my logie? There's a challenge. This is the equivalent of an Emmy. Here.
Well, all right, but you got to hold it like it's something. All right, now am I allowed to? Now I don't want to throw this on the floor, right?
Okay.
All right, so I'll just take it out of your hand. What you do is you kind of grab. I'll do it in slow mo. I'm not going to hurt your. I'm not going to hurt your ward.
I'm quietly scared, but I'm holding my own. Okay.
All right, so if you get control of the thumb pad right there with your fingers, then you can really kind of control anything, right?
Yep.
So if I pulled really hard right now, it would break your thumb, but
you're not going to do that.
Right. No, I'm not. It's just like a push-pull thing. Right? Yeah, see that?
Nice.
Right. So if you give it up,
I'll give it up.
There you go.
Do what that's like. There you go. You got a logie. Congratulations.
It's really good to be in Melbourne.
Nicely done. bite your fingernails and then you link and pull them?
That must be an Australian thing, man. I've never done that.
Don't do it now because it will hurt. But what you do is you bite your, like, put your teeth on your fingernails and you bite them for maybe about 10 seconds. And then you link your fingers and pull, and it's the most excruciating pain across your fingers.
No, but how do you come up with that?
Give it a go. Ready? For about 10 seconds. As hard as you can tolerate. Ready?
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you doing it?
It's already excruciating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now link your fingers and pull.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Isn't it painful? And right now, everyone around Australia is doing it going, you bastards! Now, in the movie, your character has amnesia and is trying to work out who he is. Have you ever been, like, so drunk that you have completely forgotten everything?
Yeah, like right now. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You must have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody, has had enough of a night where, you get up the next day and you get informed by your friends exactly what happened the night before. I actually had a friend in college who used to, and this isn't like a great story to repeat, but no little kids are up right now in Australia, but we had a friend in college who used to, I'd say, hey man, how was your night last night? And he'd say, I was spotted at 11:30 at such and such a pub, and then at 12:30 I was seen here. At 2:30 I was at such and such a dance hall, so I think the night went pretty well for me. I think I must have been having fun. So.
Well, look, can you stick around for a bit?
Yeah.
Excellent. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more of Matt Damon to bring us home when we return here on Rove Live. Matt Damon is still with us. We just had a bit of information from a member of the audience about biting your fingers and linking it. Supposedly, if you just push the fingers of the tips together, even more painful.
So for everyone at home who didn't get enough pain the last time.
You aren't quite bleeding enough. Now, Matt, I have something I like to do with the big-name guests that we have on. Because you've probably found that you have a lot of rumours that come out, a lot of tabloid stuff.
Right.
Have you ever had a particular favourite out of interest?
No, I've kind of... I can duck and cover pretty well, so I've avoided some of the more bizarre ones. Like, I haven't been abducted by aliens yet or anything like that. So I wouldn't say I have a favourite yet.
Okay. Well, I've gotten on the internet. It's what I do.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's the future. Have found some interesting trivia and just want you to answer true or false. If are these fact or crap?
Okay,
for example, your auntie Diane used to babysit Jay Leno.
That's true.
True.
Yeah.
Have you ever? I mean, obviously, other than meeting him when you were on the Tonight Show, did you meet him when you were younger?
No. This was long before he. I mean, he was like a little kid. When this happened, I don't think he even remembers my Aunt Diane. So.
Has she ever told you any stories of him when you've been on the Tonight Show?
No, she said he was well behaved. She said he was like a cute kid, which
Cute kid with a big chin.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
You said it.
Here we go. You auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club, true or false?
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
In the time of Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake?
No, well, it might have been. No, it was probably before their time. It's kind of a. Well, I'll tell it as fast as I can so we can get the band on here. But I was told that I was going to meet the head of Touchstone Pictures, and this was one of my first year in college. And so I went around my dormitory floor and said, me and my buddy Ben are going down to New York. We're taking the bus down this week, and we're going to meet the head of Touchstone Pictures. And this was how it was pitched to us by our little agent at the time. So now I had everybody on the dormitory floor in college getting all excited that I was going to meet the head of Touchstone Pictures. We got down there, and it turned out to be an audition for the Mickey Mouse Club. And so we get in there, and we're looking for the head of Touchstone Pictures, and the guy's asking us if we can sing and dance, We're going, sing and dance? What are you talking about? Where's the head of Touchstone Pictures? So it's pretty embarrassing, because I got back to college, and everyone was asking me how, the head of Touchstone Pictures was, and I was going, he's good, he's a cool guy.
His name's M-I-C-K-E-Y. What about this one? You recently had a woman follow you into a bathroom at a restaurant, take off her clothes, and offer herself to you.
I mean, who does this stuff really happen to? No, that's false. That did not happen to me. And my girlfriend's watching right now.
Bummer. You used to hand out flyers outside a women's clothing store?
True.
Really?
Yeah, it was a summer job, handing out pamphlets trying to get people to come in and buy women's dance shoes.
So Speaking of dancing, did you used to listen to Prince and breakdance in Harvard Square for money?
No, that's false. That's something that Casey Affleck, Ben's brother, made up a long time ago. The first time that People magazine, was a big magazine in America, did a little profile on me, like way early on. They did like one little page with a little picture, and they did facts about me. And so they called Casey for some reason. I think they were looking for Ben, and Casey answered the phone. And he said, yeah, oh, you know, People magazine? Yeah, I'll take the call. And I mean, he just started making stuff up. So for the last 15 years, or 10 years, whatever, this thing's dogged me. Everybody goes, you used to break dance for spare change?
We should make up another one. Yeah. What you should do is make up your own and send it out there and see how long it takes for it to get back to you.
Yeah, actually, that would be a good kind of experiment, because I bet it wouldn't take too long. Yeah, if you put it in the right places.
Abducted by aliens. There you go. Live the dream.
That's our. You start it, man.
Okay.
Right.
So, abducted by aliens.
Yeah, it was a hard day.
Wow. We'll take that clip, send it to the world, away we go. Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Man.
Absolute thrill talking to you. Matt Damon, everyone.
Yeah.
September 26th. Thank you everyone else who took part in tonight's proceedings. Katie Underwood, James Smith, Carla Bonner, Peter Moon. Next week on the show, Ethan Hawke, comedians Judith Lucy, Adam Hills and band Crash Palace. All your information is on rove.com.au. And don't forget, Saturday Morning Rove this week joined by Adam Sandler to take us out. The boys from Taxi Ride. This is their new single, How I Got This Way. It's out, but tonight they're going to be performing their top 10 hit, Creeping Up Slowly, to take us home. The boys from Taxi Ride. Until next week, I'm Rove McManus. Say hi to your mum for me. Good night.